Hi, it's Maggie Wild, the Potentialist. I've been pondering the series of events that have occurred in my business and in my personal life over this last 6 to 12 months. And I realized as I stopped to pause this morning on my walk that I have achieved some of the most amazing things that I didn't ever think I would do, or maybe in the back of my mind always hoped that I would do, in a very, very short period of time. But because I'm a high achiever and a bit of a perfectionist, I've dealt with perfectionism all my life and had the challenges of perfectionism held hold me back quite a lot in my life. I decided today that I wanted to do a video blog about perfectionism, about the fact that, and it's still something I'm challenged with on a daily basis, and I teach my clients regularly in order to help them move forward in whatever challenge it is, whether it's emotional eating, whether it's weight loss, whether it's sabotage, whether it's an addiction or a phobia or whatever it is. I teach them about letting go of the need to be perfect, probably because it's obviously one of the greatest challenges that I've been dealing with for all of my life, and probably at the root or the cause of a lot of my internal battle that I dealt with in my teens and 20s and certainly my 30s. And so today I'm adding to this little video blog a very special little brain training recipe to let go of the need for perfectionism and to activate persistence, because it's part of my courses that I teach. It's vital towards moving out of our own way in order to achieve what we want to achieve. So I pondered as I walked today that I was thinking about the things that I still had to do and that I hadn't done yet. And I just went, whoa, whoa, stop. Let's walk the talk here and let's actually walk the walk. So I actually stopped and had a coffee and I just chilled for a little bit, and I went over my last 6 to 12 months and looked at everything that I had achieved, everything that I'd experienced, everything that on a personal level as well as a professional level that I'd succeeded in or that I'd been challenged by. And I realized I'd not really sat down and acknowledged that that really was good enough. And I wanted to share that today as part of my video blog in order to help you ask the question of yourself. Are you stopping to pause and ponder, to smell the roses if you like, or just consider what you have already done that is good enough, what you have already felt, experienced, achieved, where you've already been, and really do a little bit of an achievement assessment, if you like, and live through, just spend 5 or 10 minutes each day. I really recommend. I actually have a system in our emotional eating program where I ask my students to do an achievement list on a daily basis, just mind rehearsing 2 or 3 of their achievements, to rewire that success in their brain, to keep their brain focused on what they've done right, what they've done through persistence and through achievement, without activating old wiring that says that's not good enough, etc. And, after treating clients for many, many years, I can honestly tell you that the majority of people that I've treated have had some sort of brain wiring, that they've needed to move through. No matter what the challenge they brought to the table, they needed to move through some sort of wiring that was associated with, am I good enough? And I'm living proof of that, if you like. I've been working my entire life towards feeling that good enough experience, and it's only when I stop and pause, when I get out of my busyness and out of my own way, that I recognize I am good enough, and you are too. And I see that in each and every one of the clients that I treat. And I want you to just take the time today, just 2 or 3 minutes, just stop, pause, make a list of 3 or 4 achievements. It doesn't matter whether they were 10 years ago, it doesn't matter whether they were yesterday. And I just want you to ponder how it felt, the experience when you think about the moment when you acknowledged that achievement. What was the sensations you had in your body? What were the thoughts you had in your mind? And what was the emotion that moved you? Yeah, because it's when we access that same experience, when we remember the sensations, when we remember the thoughts, and when we remember the emotion, we can trick the brain into wiring and firing all of that positivity again in the brain. And the brain will assume that that's all happening again. And then we can remember when we fire wires in the brain, every time we fire that same sequence, anything that's associated with that same emotion, anything that's associated with those same feelings and sensations will wire together. So wires that fire together become a neural network. And so all of a sudden, when we continue to focus on what we've done right in our life, that we are good enough, all of a sudden we begin to remember that we are good enough in many other areas of our life too. And all of a sudden it becomes easier to think of what we've done right, to think of what we like about ourselves, to think of how amazing we are or what we still have to achieve. So in order to be your potential, start mind rehearsing the things you've already done right, the things you've already done that make you feel great. And remember the thought, the sensation, and the emotion that goes with that. Spend 2 or 3 minutes a day accessing those same thoughts, sensations, and emotions, and pretend they're happening again right now. And I promise you, your brain will keep you focused on more of what's right rather than the old perfectionist program, which is, what have I still got to do? What have I done wrong? Yeah. And remember, the key to all our success, again, whether it's emotional eating, whether it's stress eating, comfort eating, boredom eating, whether it's weight loss, whether it is fears, phobias, habits, behaviors, whether it is illness, sickness, whatever it is, we are good enough. And the thing that changes it all is persistence, not perfection. And I call that key the 3 P's of success: persistence, persistence, and more persistence. So have a wonderful day. Do check out the Letting Go of the Need to Be Perfect brain training recipe below, and be your potential.